ain't got a key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. I get high with a little help from my friends.
You should believe in math, not magic. You're listening to the Watchdog on Wall Street with Chris Markowski.
All right, we'll get back to work. Again, I don't mind. I'll be sharing some stories. Again, our work ethic that my brothers and I have, that's all Roy Markowski instilled. He was he was tough, man. We're working for him as kids in his janitorial business, and he would, I'd have a building in high school after sports, go clean an office building, and he would come and check on our work. And if there was a spot on a sink, if there was a tiny piece of paper in a corner on a carpet somewhere, he had a point system. But he used to sing songs. He's like, oh, we got a point. And he just messed with us the entire time. And if we got points, he deducted it from our pay. I guess we didn't have union rules there at RSM Cleaning Service. But anyway, I gotta talk about something that we've been going over here on the program for a while. You know what? Maybe I'll share it this way. It's all of the stuff that going through this week. It was also my son's birthday, and took my family out to get hamburgers, fries, pretzel. That's what Nico wanted, and bar restaurant in our town. And I get the bill at the end, and what was it? I think I had 2 glasses of wine. My wife had one. Bill comes $180. 5 people. And my wife had I don't know why, but she had like a black bean type salad with a patty on. There were 2 vegetarian dishes out of 5, a couple burgers, and I had chicken. And I'm like, $180. And I'm thinking, this is absurd. It's absurd. And this is how it's becoming everywhere. This is inflation. I did some homework this past week. And again, I want to make this perfectly clear to everybody out there. You're constantly being lied to by the government, by the Fed. You put out these CPI numbers, and they're a joke. I don't know if you're aware of this, and if you don't believe me, look it up. If we were to calculate inflation the same way we calculated inflation back in the 1980s, inflation would be running at 10%. That's right, 10%. Now, with a 10-year bond yield at under 2%, you know what? We'll just say it's at 2%, which it's not. Holding on to cash, real yield out there is negative 8%. That's mortgage out there. People, this is, what do you want to believe about? This is consequential. It is very, very difficult. It's really difficult on senior citizens looking to get a safe yield out there that they can live on. It's been difficult for us for decades. This all goes all the way back to Greenspan with all the money printing that's going on. One of the smartest guys out there when it comes to interest rates, by the name of Jim Grant. And he talks about what interest rates are supposed to do. It allows us to connect the present with the future. It discounts future cash flows. They connect past, present, and future. And it helps us to calibrate risk. The chance of somebody getting paid or not getting paid. It helps you decide whether or not investment is worthwhile. We don't do that anymore. These prices aren't being set in the marketplace. They're being set by governments and central bankers. That's what happens in socialist and communist countries, and it's not healthy by any stretch of the imagination. And you know what it's doing as well? It's taking money away from small businesses, people that want it, that are going to need it, that want to start something up. Why loan money? Why put money at risk? I can just stash it there at the Fed and collect interest that way. Have to take a break. WatchdogOnWallStreet.com, WatchdogOnWallStreet.com. We shall return.
You're listening to the Watchdog on Wall Street. Bringing America financial freedom one listener at a time. You're listening to the Watchdog on Wall Street with Chris Markowski.
Songs today. I picked out a bunch of tunes today that my dad loved. He instilled that in me. Music as a child. I have all of his vinyl, and my youngest son Nico, he's got a record player in his room, and he's starting to listen to all the old Beatles and Stones albums and all the stuff that I had as a kid, and all the stuff that my dad had. And that went from the albums. Everybody remember the eight tracks too. That's in my mind, road trips in the van down to Florida with the stacks of 8-track tapes there playing along the way. Anyway, talking about Fed policy and what it's doing. Judy Shelton, who, again, should have been appointed to the Fed, but, of course, she's not a part of the we need to print as much money as possible agenda. And she talks about how all of this, all of these policies that are put into place are squeezing small business. You try going out and getting yourself a loan. Banks aren't interested in that. You take a look at their numbers. Yeah. I mean, the 25 largest U.S. banks currently hold 45% of their assets in loans and leases. That's down from 54%. They're pulling back. There's no interest. There's no interest. Fed'll, you keep it over here at around 2%, and we'll just do things that way. Again, why would the people in charge? Why would the people in charge, that club that we talk about here all the time, that club that you're not a member of, why would they want you to have access to more money? It just competes with them. They'll let us peasants have access to more money. Oh, sure. Again, your big doings out there, they have no problem. No problem. Corporate America is fine. Fine. No matter what, they're fine. They're entrenched. They're a part of the club. You're not. Anyway, it's been, I'm going to talk about this. It's kind of reflecting. You're hearing this all the time. It's been a year since, what was it? Was it March 11th where they shut down the NBA and then all the other sports started following suit? And then we had, was the stock market, was it 22nd or 23rd of March last year? Bottomed out, and then all of a sudden you saw the Dow up 11%. The next day, it was nuts. But it was nuts also in 2008 and 2009. And you go back if you like, and you can listen to the shows that we had, the podcasts, the radio shows that we had a year ago, trying to calm everyone down. Yet you have to put things into perspective. You do. The reality is that you never bet on the end of the world. It's going to only happen one time. The future is oftentimes much weirder, more odd than you think it's going to be. You know, people say, how do you plan for a pandemic? How do you plan for this? You don't. You plan for everything. You prepare. You prepare. And this is why you put money away from every single paycheck, and you dollar cost average, and you rotate assets, and you continue to look for value. You continue to look for fundamentals. How many new far-flung, ridiculous, whether it be SPACs or new ETFs that got algorithms based upon, I don't know, social media posts. Do you really, really, really think that this is going to work? Do you really believe it? I've been doing this for a very long time. Do you think all of a sudden there's going to be some sort of stock market wizard, some Midas out there, that's going to come up with an algorithm that's going to turn lead into gold? You know, I get it. You know, oh, look at all those people, man. That guy made a ton of money on the GameStop. And this one, oh, look at this thing, the SPAC here. Do you understand these SPACs and what's going on with these things? This stuff would make Jordan Belfort and the Boiler Room crooks from the late 1980s into the early 1990s, make them blush. You know, I wish we thought of this. You mean we could get celebrities to back our BS and do this thing? I mean, yeah. Don't be one of the greater fools out there. Don't be one of the greater fools. Do your preparation the right way, and that's what we're here for. Get to our website. I suggest up to you. Okay, sign up for our personal CFO program. It's absolutely free. You can do it there on our website. Go back. You can read their columns going back from some 20 some odd years. We've got all sorts of great stuff there at the site. Watchdog on Wall Street.com. It's one word. We also have a 24-hour-a-day help hotline, 800-471-5984. That's 800-471-5984. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
My Lord. My Lord.
Taking Wall Street's liars, crooks, and cheats out behind the woodshed. You're listening to the Watchdog on Wall Street.
Welcome back, everybody. Let me get into this. I know we've added a bunch of new affiliates out there. What our personal CFO program is all about. Things like what happened last year, what we're dealing with still today. Pandemic, .com run-ups, various different things. And we've called them. We've called them over the years. That doesn't mean we sold. I mean, oh, no, there's a storm coming. Sell, Mortimer, sell. No, because, again, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know exactly how the markets are going to react. Many people, markets tanked last March. What did they do? They sold. They sold everything when the markets were down, which is exactly the opposite of what you should be doing. You have to learn how to navigate storms, corrections, volatility. Have to. And you have to be able to avoid serious risk, including stuff it's kind of hard to explain, but unforeseen things out there. You have to be able to discern the difference between conventional wisdom, what's a conventional wisdom, what narratives are being pushed today, and the reality of what's really going on, the reality of the terrain. Yes, okay, they're few and far between. We do the best with what's out there, with finding the best safe yields, where they reside, how to apply them. They want to call us this zero rate environment. It's worse than that. Okay? It's negative rate environment.